Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you've already successfully filed your 2025 federal tax return and you are now checking your banking app like 10 times a day in 2026, wondering where on earth your refund is, take a deep breath. First and foremost, please don't panic. And whatever you do, don't make the mistake of assuming your hard-earned refund is somehow just lost in the ether. It is actually incredibly common for these payments to take a bit of extra time. So today, we're going to walk through exactly how to figure out where your money is.
Okay, let's dive into this. There are actually several completely different reasons why an IRS refund can be delayed, and the very next step you should take relies entirely on what your official IRS status actually says. I know it's tempting, but reaching for the phone to call the IRS right out of the gate is rarely the best first move. Instead, you need to know exactly what to look for and where to look for it.
Here's a quick look at the structured journey we're taking together today. 1. Normal processing times. 2. Safely tracking your refund. 3. Decoding IRS statuses. 4. Common refund delays. 5. When your refund is stuck. And finally, 6. Safe steps and scam warnings. We are going to replace all that waiting anxiety with clear, logical steps based on official IRS guidance. Let's get started.
Section 1. Normal processing times, setting the baseline.
Before we can even figure out if your refund is genuinely delayed, we have to establish a realistic baseline for how long these things normally take. Expectations are everything here. According to current IRS guidance, how you file massively dictates how long you wait. If you electronically file your return, it generally takes around 3 weeks to process. But if you went the old-fashioned route and mailed in a paper return, you've got to brace yourself. 6 weeks or more may be needed. And remember, the timeline doesn't just depend on your filing method. It also heavily depends on whether you select a direct deposit, if your return involves certain tax credits, whether it requires any manual corrections, and even your own bank's processing speeds.
So, the crucial point is, while most electronically filed refunds are indeed issued in less than 21 days, that 21 days is absolutely not a guaranteed refund date. Think of it as a general guideline, definitely not a hard deadline set in stone.
Section 2. Safely tracking your refund using the official tools.
The very first thing you need to do when you feel like you've been waiting way too long is check your status, but safely. And I emphasize the word safely here. The tool you want to use is the official IRS Where's My Refund tool. To use this, you're going to need 4 exact pieces of information ready to go. Step 1, your social security number or ITIN. Step 2, your filing status, so whether you filed single, married filing jointly, you know the drill. Step 3, your exact refund amount, not an estimate, but the precise dollars and cents on your return. And step 4, the tax year you're checking. The great news is that current IRS info says this data can become available on the tracker as soon as 24 hours after an e-filed current year return is accepted.
But I literally cannot stress this enough. Use irs.gov only. Never, ever enter your sensitive information, especially your social security number, into random websites, sketchy links you see on social media, or unofficial third-party trackers. If it is not a .gov address, do not trust it with your tax data.
Section 3. Decoding IRS statuses. What your tracker means.
Once you are safely logged into the official tracker, you're going to see one of a few messages. Let's decode what these tracking statuses actually mean in plain English. Here is the clean timeline of how the IRS processes your money. Milestone 1 is return received. Milestone 2 is refund approved. Milestone 3 is refund sent. If you see return received, that simply means the IRS has it in their system. It's safe and sound, but it has not necessarily been approved yet. They're still working on it.
Now, what's really interesting about this stage is refund approved means the IRS has actually completed all the relevant processing. The finish line is officially in sight, and the funds have been cleared for release by the government.
Finally, we have Refund Sent. This means the IRS has done their part. They have physically issued the payment. However, keep in mind that your bank or financial institution might still need a few business days to process the transaction and actually post the money to your available balance. So if you see sent, but your bank balance hasn't magically gone up that exact second, give your bank a little time.
Section 4. Common refund delays. 5 reasons your money is waiting.
But what if you aren't seeing those statuses move? Let's explore the why behind delayed refunds. If you're frustrated, your frustration is totally valid, but there is usually a very factual, systemic reason for the holdup. First up, errors or missing information. Simple math mistakes or discrepancies with what your employer reported can pause the whole shebang. Next, additional review.
Sometimes returns are just randomly flagged for a closer look. Then there are special credits, like the Earned Income Tax Credit or Additional Child Tax Credit. These actually have special, mandated processing requirements that just take longer by law. Fourth is identity verification. The IRS might pause your refund just to make perfectly sure you are really you if they suspect identity theft. And finally, bank or direct deposit problems. Simply typing a routing number wrong causes the payment to be rejected and sent right back to the IRS.
Section 5. When your refund is stuck, taking the right action.
If you have passed the normal processing windows, you need to know exactly what actionable steps to take next. Here's your decision tree. If it's been less than the normal processing time, your action is just to wait and monitor irsgov.gov. And a fun fact for you, checking the tracker 50 times a day doesn't make it process faster. The Waze My Refund tool only updates approximately once every 24 hours. Now, if the normal processing time has passed, your action is to check your IRS online account for notices. And if you have received an IRS notice, your action is to strictly follow the official instructions on that letter. Remember, calling the IRS out of the blue does not automatically speed up a delayed refund.
Now here's an absolutely crucial scenario. What if the IRS tracker says your refund was issued, but you still don't have the money after several days? This could be a bank processing delay, a lost paper check, or incorrect bank info. In this case, you might need what's called a refund trace. This is an official IRS process initiated to locate a missing tax refund that the IRS system insists was already sent out.
Let's move to it and see how this builds, because the 2026 tax season has some really important changes regarding federal payments and direct deposits. So if your direct deposit is missing or rejected in 2026, here is your strict action plan. Step 1, check your IRS account. Step 2, look for notices. Step 3, follow the IRS instructions carefully. Rely on what the official notice tells you to do, not on some unofficial advice from an internet forum.
Section 6. Safe Steps and Scam Warnings Protecting Your Payout. We are in high-stakes territory now, because when money is on the line, scammers are always close behind. We really need to talk about safe steps to protect your payout. Here are 5 things you should absolutely never do. First, don't pay a random website that promises to unlock your delayed refund. Second, never give your social security number to strangers trying to help you on social media. Third, do not click on suspicious IRS refund text message links. The IRS doesn't text you links. Fourth, don't file a duplicate tax return out of impatience. This will literally only tangle the system further and cause massive delays. And fifth, don't believe anyone promising a guaranteed refund date. No way.
And this brilliantly illustrates how simple the official IRS process actually is when you follow it calmly. Here is your final checklist. Check Where's My Refund, check your IRS online account, look for IRS notices, verify your bank information, understand your filing method's timeline, follow official instructions, and be hyper-vigilant about scams. When you stick to this, you stay in complete control of your financial information.
To wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this core takeaway. If you're waiting for a 2026 tax refund, the most important thing is not to panic. First, find out what stage your return is actually in. Then take the appropriate next step. Remember, knowledge is power. Empower yourself by only checking your refund status through official.gov resources.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Do you know exactly where your tax return is right now, and are you using official IRS tools to safely track it? Don't let uncertainty stress you out. Take action, check your status the right way, and navigate your personal finances with confidence. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay tuned as we continue to break down the complexities of your money.